All right, we are live. Thank you for joining us. Um, we had a couple other people lined up for it to be here with us. We think we're expecting one more, but right now it is just me and Gail. Gail's, as I always tell everyone, is our number one GM at Lurking Players. To much to their chagrin. But yeah, we're here to just talk a little bit about the year in review.
Mhm.
But yeah, let's introduce ourselves before we get started. Again, yeah, I'm Matt McLeod. I am the creator of the Lurking Fears and part of the admin team. We get things done. We get people scheduled, figure out how we're going to run all these games at all these different cons. And Gail,
Yeah, I'm Gail Clendenin. I'm based in Columbus, Ohio, and I first bumped into Matt a little pre-lurking fears in 2018.
yes, yes, indeed, yeah, it was 2018. Yeah,
Mhm.
man, that's been a while now. Now that I
It's
think
starting
about
to
it.
be, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, pre-COVID. Yeah,
Yes,
into before times.
yes.
All right. So yeah, this has been a huge breakout year in Lurking Fears. A lot of things have happened. One, we formally formed an LLC and got things on the ground as far as maintaining a business aspect.
Amazing.
Exactly. That's been a great thing to be able to have the wherewithal and the means to do that. Lar- lar- Thankfully, in a large part to the rest of the admin team, Betty Tatum, Chris Tatum, and Jonathan. We formed up the core admin team uh, late last year, early this year, as a result of me needing a lot of help at Gen Con, and they just jumped in. so so was very grateful to have that, and they were all like, yeah, let's just make this a thing. And I was like, yeah, we should. We need. We're right on the cusp of it. At first it was just a bunch of people just loving to run and play games, and now it's like, no, people know us at cons now. People are
Mhm.
like asking for us. We need to incorporate. so
Yeah.
yeah, uh, so yeah. Thank you, Cody 3D. I'm not sure who that is, but thank you for jumping in on the message. But yeah, a big year for us. We got a lot of new GMs, a lot of new publishers jumped in with us this year. Um, More to be coming next year. So excited how things are forming. Um, what was your biggest thing that you like jumping into this year?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. I was making some notes getting ready for this, and I think that I had a couple of really great moments. I challenged myself to learn more systems this
Hmm.
year because that's such a hallmark of lurking fears at this point, right? Is really being responsive to publishers.
Hmm.
That what they're asking for is what we can provide and
Hmm.
that we are a dynamic and flexible team of GMs, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And so um, that I really said to myself, I've got to be that too.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
yeah. And so I think for me, the first challenge of that was to really dive into Kelsey Dion's Shadow Dark for Gamehole Con in Madison, Wisconsin in October. And I think for me, the reason that that felt like a big challenge is because it has a lot of overlap with some classic Dungeons and Dragons,
Hmm.
but it has its own flavor. And so
Hmm.
there are things about it that feel so familiar, and yet you want to really capture what makes that system unique. And so I really had my work cut out for me studying that system because I wanted to get it right. I,
Yeah.
I wanted to bring out the flavor of it. And also, as I discovered at the convention, that system and Kelsey Dion have fans. They don't just have players, they have fans. And they were there at the table with their own books and everything that
Rabid.
they were ready. Yeah. And they had seen her in person and played with her in person. And so I was
Hmm.
glad that I had put the work in to really understand the system before I got to the table. And we even had scenarios that she had written for us
Hmm.
to run. So it really had her hallmarks all over it.
Hmm.
So I think I was really um, thrilled with the energy, just the collaborative energy of those tables, and proud of myself for tackling that system.
Yeah.
So that it just felt good to run those stories with those players. And so I think when I think back over my year, that was just some of the most fun that I had.
Getting into it, just starting the year. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Trying new systems. That is a big thing. Yeah, we're always trying new systems. I mean, when we first started out, I don't know. Yeah, it was Grimdark and Horror was our bread and butter. We mostly ran Call of Cthulhu and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we branched into a lot of other stuff, and Shadow Dark does kind of lean into the Grimdark and Horror too,
Yeah.
as well. Especially with the OSR very unforgiving kind of feel of it.
Hmm.
Kelsey's been such a treat with us this year. She's been just a wonderful person from start to finish. I met her at Gen Con last year. No,
Okay.
was it Gen Con? No, Gamehole Con. Met
Okay.
her at Gamehole Con last year. Um, got introduced to her, started talking to her, and asking about running her games. And then we kind of sealed the deal at Gen Con. She came with Professor Dungeon Master and a whole, Baron Drop and Ben from Quest and Beast. I'm forgetting half the people, but she had like a whole entourage with her. We got together there and really started talking, and I was like, she's everything that I see the future of gaming about, about it being inclusive and forward reaching and thinking outside the box a lot
Hmm.
like what you do, and stuff like that. And it's just she hits all the hallmarks that I see the future of gaming. And I asked her, I was
Hmm.
like, look, we always ask someone to be our special guest at Origins. We've had Professor Dungeon Master, we've had Seth Krakowski, some legends in the media part of the industry anyhow, if not outright writers. They both written for
Yeah.
games long, and but I asked her, I was like, look, you really would love to have you at Origins. She never even been there before, so she was excited about coming, and we made it a whole thing. Like, we scheduled her up for some seminars and
Hmm.
be able to sign some stuff. And yeah, she was just floored. She came in, and we gave her like the white glove treatment. We walked around. We walked around the tables, and everybody. She got to talk to everybody running the game. Now that was playing the games and running
Yeah.
the games, and really got excited about seeing it done there. I
Hmm.
ran probably my best Call of Cthulhu game I've ever run for her. It was amazing. It was it
That's such
was
a good feeling.
I mean, we were like center stage in the middle of the game room, like 25 table room. And yeah, we were like in the middle of the room, and we were just knocking it out. Not only her, but Mark Reinhagen, the creator of Vampire the
Oh,
Masquerade.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
he jumped into the last minute. I'm like, yeah, no pressure. I'm gonna run for these two people. It's cool. This is what, Friday? Okay, yeah, and yeah, it was an amazing game. Probably one of the best games I ever run.
Uh,
Now that I know who Kodiak is, it's Tom. It's Tom Frisbee. We
oh.
totally we totally decked Tom. I mean, he got laid out in the game, in the most spectacular fashion. And we just had a riot. I mean, it was a great game. I used the props from Obscuria Walser. It's
Mhm.
basically like a German company version
Yeah.
of HBO Lovecraft Society. Yeah,
Mhm.
Historical Society. Yeah,
Mhm.
and amazing props, just eye popping, kind of authentic looking props. And then we just had a great story and just ripped it up the entire
Yes.
time. It was so great. Like, I picked her up that morning. No, 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 well, she came into the game room rather. She came in the game room, and I was like, "Did you have a good night's sleep?" Because we played pretty late. I said, "Did you have a good night's sleep and everything?" It's like, she says, "No, Matt, really, I didn't." I was like, "My jaws are hurting so much from laughing so hard during the game." And I was like, "I own every bit of that. That's fine. It's cool. That's totally fine." Sorry you didn't get sleep, but that was totally cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we jumped into so many great games, like Shadow Dark with her.
Mhm.
Um, the A bunch of new stuff from Free League has come out.
Yeah.
We've been working a lot with Mongoose,
Mhm.
with the Traveler and Paranoia. Paranoia has become a big like con favorite. It's really wild how it kind of works now that I think about it, because Paranoia doesn't really work as a campaign. It works as a series of one shots, I think, because it's
Mhm.
it's so wild.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
I think it's very hard to keep the fabric of a campaign. in a paranoia. It's very one-shotty to me, seems to be.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, a lot of people love playing that.
Did
We've
you see it was at one of Jonathan's tables? Did you see three players come in as red disruptors
his
in
first
the
game, I think, was,
jumpsuits?
yeah,
Yes, they looked
the
amazing.
red troubleshooter suits. Yeah,
Troubleshooters, thank you.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, they're great. They were amazing. You had big full on red jumpsuits. Yeah, the lore of the um, paranoia. I don't know if you know what the lore of it is, but yeah, you're in like a complex, and like friend computers like commands everything, and
Hmm.
your main goal in life is making sure you're on friend computer knows that you're on his side, even though
Yeah.
you're not.
Yeah.
you know, and they have like a hierarchy of duties and people that do tasks based on their color. And the lowest, I think, is I think it's indigo,
Hmm.
or I might be backwards. Red or no, yeah, yeah. Red is just above it, and then blue, and then green, and it goes on up to ultraviolet. I think I've got that right. But yeah, they have like a tier system in their society of like who's over who and who can command who.
Yeah.
And the red people are like the people who do all the hard work, all the troubleshooting.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, they're the one that catches all the flack from basically everyone else.
Hmm.
And it's so great watching them. People who are into the lore already step into those games, which reminded me like when you were talking about the Shadow Dark. Yeah, these people that come to play Shadow Dark, they come to play, and
Yeah.
they have it down. What I love about it is Shadow Dark has become again a very like I guess intermingling of players. I see grognards and I see new players jump into this game, and they jump in it
Hmm.
together, you
Yeah.
know. And the old school players aren't like, well, this is how we do it back in my day, and blah, blah, blah. It's and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, they're they usually are at a table and playing with the kids, the new generation of
Yeah.
gamers, and just mixing it up, and everybody's having fun. I love that part of it. uh we've had a lot of fun stuff. Oh, we got Jirhon here. Give me just a moment. Hey, my man.
Hey, how you doing, my friend?
Doing all right.
Hello.
Doing all right. I'm here with Gail. Jay, if you don't mind introducing yourself real quick to the group, to
I'm
everyone else.
Jirhon.
And he's one of our newer and really incredible game masters. He's done a lot with us. You started with us, what, a Gen Con?
Yeah,
Was it Gen Con? Yeah. Man, you jumped right in with both feet, and you've just been amazing. I want to tell you, you've been
thank
really,
you.
really great. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun having you with us, and doing stuff with us. But we're right now we're just talking about things that we really dug this year. That we started off with, and what our focus was when because we've had so many new publishers and
Yeah.
games
Yeah,
come out with us. We were just talking about Shadow Dark. Uh, Monolith jumped on board with Batman and Conan. We've had Chaosium jump in with both feet finally and say, "Hey, we'd love for you to run for us. Do some uh, a schedule play with us." And we're like, "Yes, here's these scenarios, run these."
I'm
Uh,
thrilled about that.
yeah,
I
that's
just love that system.
yeah. Everybody knows that Chaosium has been like my unicorn. I've been chasing him since I started this. It's like
mhm,
Yeah.
and but I'm glad to just do any kind of like scheduled gaming for them at all. And we had a lot of success with it at PAX Unplugged running. Um, we ran Pendragon and Call of Cthulhu, I believe,
Hmm.
uh, at PAX Unplugged. Um, what did you come in with us digging like running? What was exciting for you, man?
I would have to say, out of all the games I ran, the two fun ones that like I had the most joy for was Paranoia and
Hmm.
like my improv basing game.
Yeah, the Basin game.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I've heard like three different ways to say Basin. Even the Swedish people are like it's Vasen or Vasen. I think it's kind of like a whole dialect kind of thing.
I think it is.
you know, absolutely. You know, like some people say, "Oh, it's the fairy," or "It's the fae." You know, whatever.
Mhm.
but but yeah, that is an amazing game. I love that. And we were just talking about Paranoia when you jumped in about how it's such a great con game, and those people that came in on like Jonathan's first Paranoia game at PAX in the red jumpsuits, like
Yeah,
troubleshooters.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Like again, yeah, those people came in ready to play.
Yeah.
That was fun.
they
That was a
really
lot of
did.
fun.
Jirhon, what's working for you about Paranoia? What do you love about it?
For me with paranoia, it's just the fact that it can be so random.
Hmm.
Mm.
Like I didn't even follow. Like I gave them the beginning, and they started running with stuff, and I was like, okay, this is cool. So I just made it like a giant Food Network kind of like TV show that everybody was playing against, and they had a great time. And it's just the randomness that makes it so much fun.
Yeah, the premise was the Great Alpha Complex Bake Off, right? It was like a rip
Yeah.
of the shows, the Bake Off
Hmm.
shows. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and that's the beauty of Paranoia too. Like you just have to have the concept. You just have to have the hook. If you try, the first time I tried to run like a Paranoia scenario at a con, I got mad. The player, I got mad. I mean, not like physically mad at the table. I was upset with myself because I'm like, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing in this scenario. And I didn't realize that it's not supposed to be that way. You just throw the hook out and then just let them go.
Yeah.
You know, all you really need is just like the premise, like you said,
Yeah.
just to start, and then just riff off what they're doing because it's never like from the jump. It's never going to be the scenario.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, and that's the thing with both games. Everybody just picked
Yeah,
randomly what they liked and ran with it. It was like, okay, this is
yeah,
awesome. I'm random, so it works.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, the scenarios themselves tend to be not more than 3 or 4 pages long, and they're mostly just ideas. I think if things get slow, if they
Yeah.
stop coming up with ideas, you could just jump this in,
Mhm.
you know, and then let them go off of that. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's so great, so great.
Yeah.
Vason, what do you dig about Vason?
Basin, it's just really awesome because like Call of Cthulhu is my bread and butter. It's what I love the most. But like Basin, it's just so easy to allow people to pick up and just play and actually instead of them trying to think they can kill something, try to find other ways to actually like talk it out, make them leave, figure something out. It's more investigation for that instead of investigate, try not to go insane or die by this like super OP creature.
Mm-hmm.
So
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, like with Vason, you tend to more have more of a chance, but you really got to use your noodle, you
yeah,
know. Um,
mm.
and whereas in Call of Cthulhu, you're trying to prevent something from happening, and oh no, it happened. Let's run
yeah,
because we got no shot. We got no
yeah. I
shot
mean,
at all.
one bad roll and you're boned in Call of Cthulhu. So I totally get that.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir us there with Gail and I both.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we both love Call of Cthulhu. We absolutely love running that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally do. Um, but yeah, Vason is so great, and it has what I love about it is you know it's fey horror. It's kind of
Hmm.
horror that you know, but you don't really
Mhm.
know. You
Yeah,
know, there's these mythical, real world kind of legends, that gets played into it, but they're like, yeah, this is what everybody thinks this is. This is what it is.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh
I
wow.
mean that's one of the cool things about it is that
Yeah,
even if a
yeah.
person doesn't know like the real world like legend about it, the
Mm-mm.
game explains it to you step by step. It allows you to like learn that, which is
Yeah,
amazing.
and break it down to the player so they go, oh, that's what this is. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah. Whereas, yeah, again, in Call of Cthulhu, it is truly horrific, but they're like, what the hell is that? I was like, yeah, you don't really want to know.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's like you read something you weren't supposed to read, and
Yeah.
now you will
Yeah,
die in a few days.
yeah,
I'm very sorry.
yeah. Really sorry about that. Yeah, not trash Call of Cthulhu at all. Again, it's one of my favorite games to run. But it is felt full of like cosmic horror, the unknown. Whereas
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mason has more of like a a natural, again, fey kind of horror. You know,
He
these
does.
these creatures exist with us. They try to coexist with us, and as the turn of the century, the 1800s came in, and industry really started to take off. We started to invade their realm. So it's like
Hmm.
they have their agenda, and we have ours, and it's not matching. So
Yeah.
so you gotta work it out with them somehow. So that's what I love about it. Some of them aren't truly evil. Some of them are evil. Some of them are really
Oh
evil.
yeah. There's a
Yeah,
few of them that are really
yeah,
evil.
yeah. Some of them, but
Everything.
yeah, some of them are just angry old elves. They're like, get off my lawn. But
Pretty much so. And those are the easiest ones to deal with.
yeah.
But the cool thing about Beasts is that just like with Call of Cthulhu, there's so much stuff people put out that love the
Mhm.
game. That are really in-depth stories of everything that you can run, and they fit great at con.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. So yeah, when we first started this year, we just did a few local cons. We had River City Con, I think it was Lexicon, stuff like that, and then we jumped into Gary Con, which I love. I absolutely love Gary Con. Hopefully, I can drag. I know Jirhon's into coming with us. Hope I can drag Gail up there
Yeah.
with us. It's a great con.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's a great mix of like the old guard and the new generation.
Mm-hmm.
I see it work there so much, and I'm so impressed with it when that does happen because and you can be really be playing at a table, and not really realizing who you're playing with, and then you're looking at someone's badge and you're like, oh my god, that's Harold Otis. I just ran a game for Harold.
Yeah.
You know, no sweat, no sweat. you know, so that's always amazing. But it's a good mix of, again, like the old regime,
Yeah.
the old school players and the new players just getting together and running some games. And I've been able to educate a lot of the publishers that were afraid of it just being a D&D con, and
Mm-hmm.
like, no, there's a lot of players wanting to try everything. And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
even, I've ran a lot of different games at Gary Con, and they've been, sold out every time because people are wanting to try anything. That's what I
Hmm.
love about this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so many people are willing to try new games now than they were before. So that's amazing to me to
Mm-hmm.
watch happen especially at a con like Gary Con. And then we went to Chaosium Con, which is fun. It's a great smaller con. I'm not sure how many people they have. I'm wanting to say somewhere between 500 to 800 people, but it's a great vibe. It's all Chaosium all the
Yeah.
time. It's at this hotel. I forget, Upper Ypsilanti. I
Mm-hmm.
forget, near Ann Arbor. Yeah, Ann Arbor, New
Mm-hmm.
Hampshire. And great con. All the Chaosium royalty is there, including our friend Bridget and others. Mike Mason, Sandy Peterson is
Mm-hmm.
there. I ran a game there one time for Sandy Peterson's granddaughter, her first Call of Cthulhu game. I about died. Seth Skarkowski asked me to run it for him, and I'm like, uh, yeah, okay.
Hmm.
So again, no pressure. Just Sandy Peterson. His granddaughter's first game too. I'm going to be totally judged. Her
Yeah.
first experience in Call of Cthulhu. But it was that prop game that I ran for Kelsey, which is again such a great game. And we
Yes.
let her open up the props, and she was just super cheesing the entire time. She was like 12. you
Yeah.
know, and just had a great time. So I was like, "Ooh, okay, she's smiling. We're good." That was a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, then we go into the 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 first of the really big cons, like Origins in Columbus, which is
Mm-hmm.
right around where Gail is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, one of, if not my favorite cons of all time. It's the Goldilocks con for me. It's
Yeah.
it's big enough to have everything I want, but not crazy like Gen Con can be. I
Yeah.
love Gen Con too, but Gen Con's Disney World. You're not going to see everything.
Yes.
you know, Origins, you're still going to miss some stuff too, but you're going to get to see most of what you want to see. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to have time. It's all in one convention center. It's not the entire town. the entire city, like Gen Con is. But Origin's great. Again, we had Kelsey there as our special guest. We had a lot of fun running against her. We ran our first big special events there. We're going to have a lot more of those at Origins and Gen Con next year. Big one night events,
Yeah.
concentrating on the genre. Yeah.
That's one of my highlights from this year too. Like Masters tournament for Call of Cthulhu was the energy of that room is so much fun. I think Lurking Fierce does those so well.
Yeah, we got to make sure to sign you up to be a GM in that, Jirhon. You're gonna have a blast.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. What we do is we have one scenario, and each table is ran by a GM, and they're running the same scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just track what they accomplish in the scenario, and then whichever table scores the most points, those are the masters, that table.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Out of like 6-8 tables, 8-10 tables, whatever we got that we could put together. But yeah, this past year, Chris was the one who wrote that for us. It was Snake Oil Salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great creepy little scenario having to deal with somebody stumbling into Serpent People technology. Great stuff there. He also co-wrote a game for the One Ring special event that we had with Jim Barrier. Jim Barrier had come up with this amazing idea, and he and Chris fleshed it out and got it together and made a great basically two-part, almost like an all-day event, like 8 hours of gaming. Like it was really great. It had all the elements of like a fellowship. Like they got addressed. Each table was a separate fellowship of adventurers that were trying to get to one area. There was 3 different avenues that they could approach it, because basically they're going long ways, and there's 3 different avenues that they could go to get there. They were all going to get at the same point, and so each table got to choose which avenue they want. So the GMs kind of had to know, which route they were going and what was going to befall them on the way. One was more of a role playing one. One was more of an action. One was more of an investigative kind of route, if I'm remembering right. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. It was an amazing adventure. We had a huge display of like this ancient dwarven fortress that was overrun by orcs that they had to go and take care of. And I even had like the old Baskin like orcs from like the Hobbit, little squat little guys, little angry little orcs and goblins for that. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, and we're doing a lot more of that this coming year. We're going to have, I know, the One Ring again. We're going to have the Masters tournament. John Hook is going to write our Masters tournament this year. He's in the middle of writing it. He's already given me the lowdown of what it's going to be about. I'm excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We also have a lot going on with the other editions from like Freely. We're going to do a Coriolis one. I think we're going to do an Electric State one. A couple of others.
Awesome.
Alien. We're going to do an Alien. Yeah, you're in helping out with the planning phase on that one, right?
Yep, that's right. Tom, who's on here, is one of the co-writers for that.
Nice. Excellent. So yeah, we have like different groups like set aside to help us come up with that, because we knew like last year with just those 2, it kept us tied up. We were like, we needed a team to keep it moving forward. So that's what we came into this year. It's like we need a team, and we just be project leaders just to kick it back into play, keep the ball going, and get us ready.
I mean, that sounds awesome, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There are going to be big events that we're going to have, usually multi-table events, either at Origins or Gen Con or both. Mostly, we're going to use Origins as like our springboard dress rehearsal test for them, not outright full-on event, and then to kick the tires on it with live action players and stuff like that, to be able to do it at Gen Con. Most of the same special events like that. One of the cons so yeah, so after Origins, I mean, as big as Origins was, and it was wild. Uh, a lot of really good things happened at Origins. Again, working with Kelsey and so many others. Um, but Gen Con really came along. We had a lot of really great events at Gen Con with the Lurking Fears room and the Free League room. Free League room was right across from the exhibit hall. We had like 10 tables there humming the entire time, just running Free League events. And we're going to do this pretty much same thing like that again next year. But like in the evening, we're gonna kick it into like that whole room is going to be one event. We're gonna do like Thursday night. It's going to be all one type of game, like the One Ring. Friday night might be the Coriolis, and the other night might be Dragonbane. I'm not sure exactly what games we got yet, but each event is going to take all those tables, those 8-10 tables that's going to be in there, and we're going to have one major event all the way through it. Not even sure how I was supposed to announce that, but anyway, it's out, it's done now. But but it is our plan. Yeah, that's what we were supposed to do, and that's what we're looking forward to doing. So yeah, that was really huge for us to be able to get that going, to be able to run 2 different rooms successfully. We did it the year before. It was our first time, and it was a lot. But this year we had our gears together, had everything really organized, and went a lot smoother, and proved to us that yes, we can run multiple rooms, multiple genres of games, and keep it going, and be a true what I would say true professional gaming group, of independent gamers, running games. The con I missed this year that I really wanted to go to, and I'm going to ask you guys which ones you guys maybe missed, but the one I wanted to go to, I just did not have the time, was Necronomicon. It kills me. Every 2 years it comes up, and every 2 years I've got so much going on, I just don't have the time to go do it. And I mean, it's a lot. It's more of like an HP Lovecraft con with gaming, but again, as big fans of all Call of Cthulhu that we are, of course Cassium's there as well. Yeah, it kills me every year that I don't get to go to that one. What are cons that you missed that you really wanted to go to? Yeah.
I've got one. For me, it's Gary Con. I actually bought a ticket when the pandemic came up and it got canceled. That was supposed to be my first year going, but it's in a tough part of the year for me, and I haven't made it yet.
Yeah.
But I know I want to be there, and I need to figure out how to make it happen.
Well, you come with us. If you get the time, we'll bring it with us. Absolutely.
There's more reason than ever. Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Jonathon was supposed to come up with me, and that's when he was still working in the school system, and one of the students sneezed on him, and the parents like, "Oh yeah, he's got COVID." Oh. So yeah, it was like 2 days before the con, and then like day before the con, he was just like deathly ill.
Dead. Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, so. Yeah, that was heartbreaking for him, because it would have been his first time at Gary Con too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
John, what was yours?
I gotta say Necronomicon too for me. Like that one. Every time, excuse me, when I heard about it, I was like, I'm gonna go, and nothing ever goes the way it's supposed to. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have to wait now one day, like do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that it does. It kills me every year. And again, I won't see it again until, what is it, 2026 now?
Yeah,
won't be able to look at it again. So hopefully I can get some time away. But it's kind of like, if I can, I'm gonna. But I'm not. I don't have my hopes up really.
I totally get that.
Yeah, but then we did our thing at Game Hall Con. Had a lot of fun running games there. Things went completely wild in a good way. We barely got in on the skin of our teeth, scheduling wise. Like we only got maybe a third of the games that we wanted in, because they were just flat ran out of space, and we kind of came to scheduling late. We scheduling was full and on our way, and we had all finally decided, yeah, let's do it, let's go, and it was quite the scheduling bear, but we got some games out there, got some great games out there. A lot of fun was had. What did you dig running at GameholeCon, Gail? I know you were there.
Me?
Yeah.
That was my Shadow Dark convention.
Mm,
It went great. But I'm with you. I jumped into that one late too. And yeah,
yeah.
the scheduling was a little wild, but you get you get the tables you get.
Exactly. Jirhon, what was yours?
I didn't get a chance to do that. Like
Oh, that's
I was
right. You missed
trying
out.
to, and like it just was not working for me. I was like, okay, there's gonna be next year, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, definitely coming this next year. It's a fun con. It's more. It's I want to say it's like 6 or 8 thousand somewhere in there. So it's
Mhm.
kind of like a high middle con,
Yeah.
middle size con, what I want to call. But it's all RPGs. Very few board games and other kind of stuff like that going on. It's probably like 90% RPGs, which is great.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what we did. So that's fun. You know, got to do a lot of Free League, got to do a lot of Shadow Dark,
Mhm.
all that fun kind of stuff. So that's cool. I love doing that. Um, Caught up with Seth out there. Seth was there. Like I didn't even know he was going to
Yeah.
be there.
Mhm.
Usually he will let me know. He might have told me and I forgot. I get so busy, but I like turned around. I'm like, "What the hell are you doing here?" But it was great, kind of hanging out with him and playing games and having a good time. Uh, yeah, yeah. Game Hole Cons. It's really becoming a fun con for me to go to. It's in Madison. It's Kelsey's stomping grounds. Uh,
Mhm.
Mhm.
she's from that area. Um, lot of great gaming going on in there. That whole Milwaukee area. You know, lower Wisconsin. Um, and then we got ready for PAX Unplugged. PAX Unplugged
Mhm.
was our last big con of the year, our last con of the year period, really.
Yeah.
And we did it all out. We got a hold of our own room and we kept begging for tables, and they were nice enough to give us extra tables because we had people kind of jump in kind of late, like Monolith and Calcium. We were glad to have them. They found out about PAX at the last minute and asked us if we can run some. We're like, yeah, let me go see. Go see, and the convention staff was fortunate enough to allow us to do that and get some extra tables and then run those games.
Mhm.
Had a lot of fun running games there at PAX. It was busy. I think I was in that game room more though so than I was ever at any other con. I think I was running at least 2 to 3 games a day.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I ran like 4 Shadow Dark games one day, and
Mhm.
like 2 Traveler and one other one another day. But
Wow.
the big thing for me was the Traveler game that I ran. I had, and I know I shared this with you guys. A good friend of mine that I hadn't seen in like
Yes.
25 years. An old friend of mine that he was in the military, and when I used to live near the Fort Knox area, and would run games for him and a bunch of friends. And I always teased him. I was like, I get new friends every year and a half, 2 years, and he was one of them. And we would play uh, Star Wars, what was it, Call of Cthulhu,
Mhm.
and Traveler. We played. I think we played GURPS Traveler though. This was
Oh.
Mhm.
before this was before Mongoose got a hold of it. Right before Mongoose got a hold of it, and GURPS was really taking off with it at the time. And
Mhm.
we did it because we wanted to try the new edition of Traveler, and I think it was like one of our last games that we ran together that ran for them was Traveler, and then he messaged me out of clear blue sky. He's like, "Hey man, I'm going to be in
Yeah.
Philadelphia for like one day. I'm going to be there Saturday." I was like, "Well, if you're not coming into my Traveler game, I don't know what to do for you."
Mhm.
Yeah. So I made sure I had a spot for him and his sister, and he came up there with him and his sister. His sister and like I think his wife and another member of their family was there as
Mhm.
well. Um, yeah, his wife Ginger. Haven't seen her in forever neither.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great to run that game for him and other people at the table that were new to Traveler and some very practiced with Traveler. I even one of the same people at the same table was a writer for Traveler. Actually, he wrote
Oh,
in some of the journals.
that's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah, like the little magazines they put out.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, he's like, that was a really great game. He's like, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and I was like, okay. I was like, all right, that was fun. But just to
Accepted.
run, just to run it for Tom and show him how things have progressed from like, me running it a game at our kitchen table, you know, in Radcliffe, Kentucky, to like actually running a full on gamer and
That's
show
so
him
cool.
how much we expanded and grown in the industry. Just he was impressed. I was really gratified to be able to do that and show him all the fun stuff that we were doing. Uh,
Hmm.
and again, the Shadow Dark games. I wish we had these maps out by the time you were running at the Game Hole Con. We just didn't have it together. Those new maps are amazing. They're so fun. Did you get a look at them at the PAX?
Yes,
They're
they
really
look
cool.
great.
Yeah, we got those. They got us the maps for the adventures, and I kept looking at them, and I was like, I bet those look good on vinyl. So I started figuring that out and figuring out how to place them. And there's a really great, so many great sign making places that you can find online. And it
Hmm.
got them on vinyl. I was like, that now it's forever. You don't have to worry
Yeah.
about paper wrinkling or folding or cutting or something like that. Just
Hmm.
throw it out there, and it looks great. And we got so many good compliments
Yeah.
from the players of the game that really dug that map.
Mhm.
Both maps actually for the game. Yeah, that was fun. What was it? What was it you guys dug running at? I know Traveler was a big huge hit for me. I loved running it. There's another one, but I'm gonna wait to see what Jirhon has to say. Gail, what was yours?
At PAX U,
Yeah, PAX U.
I actually got to be a part of the rollout of Outgunned.
Yes.
Yeah, so Outgunned was announced as it's by Two Little Mice, which is out of
Mm-hmm.
Italy. But
Mm-hmm.
right before PAX Unplugged started, it was announced that Free League Publishing is going to be publishing it. So it's
Mm-hmm.
under the auspices of Free League now. Outgunned is an action hero RPG,
Mm-hmm.
a la Die Hard or John Wick. And
Mm-hmm.
so I got to run tables of that for PAX. And it is this nonstop, scene to scene battle almost, where the players have to work their role play into the fight scenes. Because there's just so much action going on. So they're using their flaws, they're using their catchphrases, they're activating their skills, and all of this is as much that, and the fight scenes are as much their role play as any breather they ever have an opportunity to have. And people had so much fun. It's tight little teams. We played them with 4 players at the table. Like their initial introductory scenario is meant for 4 heroes. And so we had just these interactive battle scenes happening the entire time. That from the minute it starts and the contact walks through the door of the diner, followed by a team of thugs, they are on and keep going, and eventually they are falling, some with parachutes and some without, through the air from an exploding plane to the finale of the scenario. It was a blast.
Wow.
I loved running it. I loved playing it. As a GM, you're rolling no dice. The players are constantly rolling to act and rolling to react. So they're not only describing that they're on the move, but they are physically on the move, they have everything to do with the action of the game. And so I feel like the mechanics really match the pacing of the game. And honestly, the scores, the responses from the players really reflected that they had a great time.
Sweet.
It was so
Sweet.
much fun. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, the more I looked at that, the more excited I was about it. And
Mhm.
yeah, watching the players, react when I was walking by your table. I mean,
Mhm.
those people were burning calories at the table. It was killing
Right?
they were excited to play that game. I mean,
Yeah.
as fast paced and intense Shadow Dark and a lot of the other games can be. Yeah, that one is like it's hardcore. It's like
Oh, it's just
all the way through.
nonstop. Yeah.
All the way through. Absolutely. Jay, what was yours?
I would have to say it's kind of like a two-parter for me. Um, Out of all the games I ran at PAX, my Alien game was the funnest
Oh,
because literally one of my players, like towards the end, was like, "Well, I kill everybody. I just detonate this bomb and everybody goes boom." I was like, "I didn't see that coming. Like, I expected you to kill the monster, but hey, that's cool.
wow.
Like, everybody dies," and they were like, "Yep, I get away scot free." I'm like, "That's cool." Everybody at the table was like, "This is amazing. I can't believe I died this way." Like, they had a blast and everything. I was like, "Hey, as long as nobody's angry about that, I'm cool with it because I love to play it." I was like, "I'm gonna go with it because I didn't see it coming. You're killing everybody. You're gonna go away scot free. I'm gonna
PvP
roll with
works.
it."
Yeah,
Yeah,
PvP works when it's well thought out and like
yeah.
that.
It,
Yeah.
it really does, and like all the other players set him up to like leave because he was playing a his character was a kid who was with the UPP. So
Oh,
like they didn't know, so they were like go into the the APC and everything. We're gonna get. I was like, okay, and he was like, I'm gonna drive off. He had nothing in drive, but he made great rolls, and I
Wow.
was like, that's
Wow.
cool. And he was like, I used the detonator and just set off the explosions. I'm like,
mm,
okay, everybody's there. Like I'm cool with everything. I can't stop you,
yeah,
like. And
yeah,
it was a 2 hour game, but honestly, I think that they felt in their like time limit and everything that they probably were playing for like a solid 8 hours because it was just nonstop of
packed it
enjoyment
in,
and like
Yeah.
happiness.
packed it
So
Oh
in.
like
my
that
God.
made yeah, it made my day with that everything. And then the second thing was just seeing actually the sneak peek of like Batman from Monolith. That was
Boom.
like
That's what I was waiting for you to hear. Yeah,
yeah, like
exactly.
that made my entire day seeing it because like I love Batman and seeing it. And the books are so beautiful. The artwork is
Mhm.
just amazing.
The table
Yeah,
And like,
setups looked beautiful. All
yeah,
the
oh,
yeah.
the
minis, all the
boards, the
mats, all,
miniatures,
yeah.
yeah, it was
That's
just breathtaking.
that's the
So it was
wonderful
like,
thing
oh,
about
this
it.
is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Traveler, again, everybody knows if I'm not running Call of Cthulhu, I'm running Traveler. So, I'm an old hand at that, and I'm always going to have a blast running Traveler. That's always a great time for me. It's, those two are my top two games to run at any time. And I absolutely love doing it. We'll always love running it or Call of Cthulhu. Shadow Dark was immense fun for me. I caught up on the action that you guys got at Game Hall Con,
Hmm.
being able to use the maps and stuff like that with those people. And again, those were quick 2 hour games too, but they were intense. I had three near TBKs. I mean, like they were on the
Wow.
ropes. Three of like five of them, like they're they're toast. They're so toast. Like
Hmm.
they made all the wrong moves, all the bad decisions, and
Yes.
and it was completely right that they did it, but it was like, it was more of a turn left when they should turn right kind of thing, not that they did something wrong. you know, just you just put themselves in a position where things went really hairy for them.
Yeah.
But through really great gameplay and use of the game, as it is, they were able to pull victory, or at least win that fight that I knew they were toast in. I was like, there's
Mm.
no way. But we through some fantastic rolls and some great tactical playing, they were able to figure that out. But that's what I love about that game too, because once you do put the fear of the GM in that game, and they realize how close that they were, you're like, okay, we can go on through this. We're like a halfway through this thing. It's like we can go on through this, but you know what? You came here to get loot. Here's loot. And they're like, yeah, you know what? We're good. Deuces. We're out.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Our cleric's got 1 hit point. He lost his healing. We're done. We're good. We're out of here. The priest, the priest is in bad shape. The wizard lost his light spell. We're done. We're out of here. You got 2 torches left, then we're gone. But such a great game, such an intense game. It's so old school, but it's also allows you to be really creative with what's there. You
Mhm.
know, you can there it's pretty wide open, and it's meant for things to be happening now, now. There's no, I noticed like in a lot of spells, there's no duration, there's no time limit,
Mhm.
on this. It's this is happening. you know, and it can keep happening as long as the wizard's concentrating on it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Some of those kind of spells, but it's all geared to not really worry about time, distance, any of that kind of stuff. How far is it near? How far is near? It's 7-8 squares. You're fine. And it's meant to be kind of hand wavy on a lot of that to allow them to be creative and be able to use the limitations that are kind of really set on the character, you know, very old school kind of ingrained limitations. Um, they're like, my strength bonus doesn't apply to damage. No, it doesn't. It's just a hit. They're like, what?
Mhm.
Like, yeah, old school. Redbox did the same thing.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. Why does my fourth level fighter only have 20 hit points? Well, you only got 11 con. I don't know what to tell you. So there's all those great fantastic aspects of it. But yeah, the last game I ran was Batman, and I had been watching Jeremy and others run it all weekend. I've been so excited to run it. I've just been like, oh, I can't wait. I ran a play test of it for some people here in Louisville, and we had an absolute blast with it. The beauty of it, of that game is, and they sent everything to me. Miles was so wonderful. Like, they sent me like 4 big, huge boxes of the Batman stuff, the RPGs, the board games, and all that stuff. I called it Batmas at my house when I did. It was like 2 weeks before the con, and I was just like going through the boxes and like pulling out the minis because in the RPG, it encourages you to use the minis and the boards from the board game. So you get kind of double use out of those board games. First you play the board game, which is great. It's a lot of fun playing the board game. But if you want to play a full blown RPG, you totally can with the rules of the rule books that they give you, and it clearly says in there, yeah, pull this map out of this box.
Oh
You know,
gosh.
and pull out the minis. So it works, and you just you fold it out. It looks great. The minis look great. The dice, even the dice are cool. The max, the dice all explode in that game. Uh,
Mhm.
if you roll the max, you keep rolling max. So the max on the dice is like the bat symbol. So,
Mhm.
so that's really cool on that. But yeah, it's very polished. It's a very fun game. They definitely put the time in getting that going, and that just makes me so much more excited for next year, when we're going to be running a lot of their other game, Conan at GaryCon,
Oh.
our next big game for them at Conan. And again, yeah, exactly, right? Because
Mhm.
because it is Gary Conan, a lot of old school gamers are there.
Yeah.
We're like, it's gonna hit all the marks,
Yeah.
you know. And the read throughs that I've had on the quick start, and I've been bugging Matt John about it. He's the writer there. He is the main writer, the concept guy behind Conan, and he's written some Conan books on his own that really have that Robert E. Howard flair,
Mhm.
uh, and even the quick start. The rules are very good too. There's um, it's very simple, allows for a lot of storytelling and dramatizing the action. They have you usually have one type of die that you roll based on your ability, in that thing that you're trying to do. And then for each of those, you also have what's called a flex die. So you're rolling 2 dice. It's like one die is normally to hit or to do damage or whatever, and then the other is what they call a flex die. And if you roll the max on that flex die, whatever you do in there is like awesome. You just like you do the critical hit, you do the amazing thing, whatever Conan kind of thing.
Mhm.
You topple over the column and crush the snake, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Bend, push over the cauldron, the giant, cauldron, all that stuff. It really has that feel, and I just cannot be more excited to run it. Gary kind of know Jay's signed up to run a bunch of those too, right? I believe you have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
it's Conan, so yeah, I have to. Like, it's just one of those
Right.
mandatory things.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, I don't know what it is about us guys. Somebody says Conan, you just hear the call. We're just like, you hear that music come up. You know.
It very much does. So it's like, okay, like there could be a million other things I could do. I'm like, okay, I'll just do Conan right now.
Right. I just want to be a badass with a sword. That's all I really want to do. That's all I need to do. I want to go. Yeah, I mean, if that is the game, if you want to be a murder hobo, be a murder hobo in Conan, because
Oh
that
yeah.
is. I mean, when you distill it down to the fine essence of any Robert E. Howard story, he's a murder hobo. He's like, who needs killing and how much am I getting paid for it? That's really all he's about. Very, very
Very
simple.
true with that.
Very, very simple dynamic. Who needs killing and how much am I getting paid? So yeah. That's going to lead us off into Gary Con next year. What are the things as we wrap up this talk? What are things we're looking forward to next year, Gail?
I think I'm looking most forward to the special event that I'm working on. So we mentioned it earlier, working on building an alien special event for Gen Con. And we have a first draft due in January. By spring we'll be play testing it. And I know that we're just going to have this awesome room full of the energy of people playing this game that I love running. And we've got a great team putting it together. So I know that's going to be fun. And, by August, it's going to be just really ready to go. And we'll have a packed house for it.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm excited for that too. All the special events are going to be mind blowing. We've been setting this up with Free League all year, and really started to lay out like our ideas for them. Like this past deadline we just had, to where we have at least the synopsis of what the special event is, and we relayed it to the people at Free League, and they're like, these all sound amazing, and they're like, we're going to let you have a look at this, and this. Before it even comes out, so that you can know what you need to do.
Yeah.
we're like, yeah,
yeah.
that's really nice. Many NDAs will be signed in the process.
Oh my
god! So
that's awesome.
which is a wonderful thing. Yeah, for us to be able to get first look at this stuff before really anybody else. It's just again, it's one of those things that I'm like, if you'd have told 12-year-old Matt, who was making up his first Redbox D&D character, that this was going to happen, no.
Yeah.
No way. People will want you to run these games. You're going to have a group of amazing people that like the same kind of things that you're into. A huge family network of people that are down with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And publishers and people behind you, just no way. I couldn't even conceive of it. 12-year-old Matt. Heck no. Yeah. Jay, what are you looking at for next year?
I got a bit for me.
Yeah.
I got to admit, for me, it's really just showcasing more really awesome games and letting people know that, like, even if you make mistakes, like I had a lot of mistakes with my One Ring game.
Yeah.
And the game still went by so smoothly. People were like, "This is amazing. We didn't care about the mistake. Like, we were cool with this. Like, we kept the story going." And that's really what I like showcasing, is that
awesome.
Yeah.
you may be brand new to a game. It may be your first time running it or first time playing it. It doesn't matter. You're just there to have fun.
No. You really touched on a good point with especially the One Ring, as well wrapped in the verse of the game, that in the lore of that game is. There is a bit of a learning curve on that game. It is a challenging game to learn. I had to run it about 3 times for me to really have it down, and once I had it down, I'm like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. And I keep telling people it doesn't play anything like you think it should, but it plays exactly like it should be. Right. Once you start figuring out armor doesn't do what you intuitively think it does.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't protect you from getting hit. It doesn't protect you from damage. It protects you from getting killed.
Yeah.
there's
That's the big thing.
and there's a lot to wrap your head around it. It's like it only really comes into play when there's a critical hit or a serious
Mhm.
threat to your life. That's when the armor does its thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I mean, if I'm running around with leather armor and somebody smacks me with a sword, it's going to hurt.
Mm.
I'm going to get some damage from it, but it may be just enough to keep me from getting killed. That's the whole point of it. And once I
It
wrap
very
my
much
head
is.
around it, once I wrap my head around that, I'm like, oh, yeah,
I
okay.
was lucky enough that like my players, they didn't really want to go full blown combat. They did
Hmm.
everything like
Oh,
Black
really?
Ops style. Like they had like
Ooh.
a sniper, they had a backup sniper, that everything was just infiltrating slowly through. I was
Cool.
like, this is cool because I I'm having trouble here every day. So until I can master it 100%. Now that PAX is done and I've like practiced a little bit more with it,
Yeah,
those mistakes are like, okay, I see them now. I can just
100%.
skate past
Yeah,
them later and fix
yeah,
it. But that
yeah.
first time, it was like, man, I cannot believe I made this mistake here.
You
You know?
do not feel like you're the only GM that's ever said that. I can if I don't have enough fingers for the GMs that's come to me and gone, how does this work? You know, and
It's
then,
funny.
yeah, yeah. It's it's so many have come up to me in running the game, and then once you play it out and you get it working in your head, you're like, oh my god, this is exactly what it needs to be. And I'm like, yes, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It just takes you a little bit to get there. It's a
Yeah.
challenge, but
That was me running chases and outgunned. After my
oh
first
man,
game, I went back and studied, and I was like, "What was I doing?"
I'll
Like a-
tell you, yeah. To this day, those are the only two rules I still have to look up in Call of Cthulhu: is chases and
Chases.
automatic fire and chases. That's the only two rules I have to look up.
That's so real.
Don't feel bad. I'm the same way. Like I never really like none of my players ever get a chase scene. So when they do, I'm like, how many is it? Like I said, difficult. I don't know. Let me. They gotta have the book right here. And then like with
Yeah.
automatic fire, people are like, I want to go full auto. I'm like, really? You realize you're not gonna kill like the Hound of Tendlos that you went full auto with? Like, are you sure? Like,
You know what the thing is? Was let them try it and then see the futility of it, and it as it laughs and goes and rips them to shreds. But yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, pretty much. That's all you can do.
yeah. That's all you can do. Just let them feel good for that one moment, and then but yeah, no, exactly, 100%. Each game, that I've seen, it does have its learning curves. And again, Lord, the One Ring definitely is one of them, but it's so beautifully done. Like the illustrations and the lore and how things are supposed to work. It's just such a natural feel from what you get from the Tolkien stories. And
Mhm.
everybody's like, how do you do magic? Well, there's five wizards, and you're not one of them. So no.
Yeah.
I love that aspect of it too.
That's great.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, pretty
and that-
much you are just boots on the ground. That's it.
you're
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
nothing else.
yeah. But it's using those unique abilities and stuff like that that make you seem sort of magical. Again, like the hobbits being able to just you know turn stuff on its time, and you're like, where'd he go? And stuff like that. And each species,
Hmm.
has their own um, things that make them a great a benefit to the game.
Yeah.
That seem magical in its own right, their own inborn abilities. So I love that aspect of the game, being able to share that world of the Lord of the Rings again with those people such a unique game, a game that doesn't play like any other that I've ever seen, but it again plays exactly like it should. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, so excited to see here that you guys had such fun running
Hmm.
these games, especially yeah, like like watching you with the paranoia and Gail with the outgun. When I was watching Gail with the outgun, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be mind blowing. Watching it go by them, and just the people just kind of hanging on every word that you had.
Thanks.
And in the Shadow Dark people, I mean, again, 3 of the 5 tables I had, they were all like, "We're toast, right?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, you're toast." And they pulled it out. They got, I just deserve credit. I was like, people were walking by and like, "How's this going?" I'm like, "They're so dead. They're so dead." And they were laughing, like they knew how bad it was for me to get a lucky roll and got it pulled out. Things were amazing. Really, really great game watching them. It's exactly what I think like old school D&D should be. You come in across these overwhelming odds,
Yeah.
and you got to pull something out of your hip pocket, to turn the tide. And
Mhm.
and again, maybe at that point you got to go. You know what? Maybe it is deuces. Maybe we do got to go.
You
We
just
just
gotta
got
take
out
that
of this
chance and
by
get what
this
you
by the
need
hair of
done and
teeth.
leave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We've seen enough. We're good. Okay. Yeah. And that speaking, yeah, we're good here. Thank you guys so much for being part of this discussion. Hope to have some more in the future as we get ready to approach 2025 and the games that we're going to run, things we're going to be doing. Again, thank you all so much for being part of it. Anything
Thank
else
you
you
for
want to
having
say?
us.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else you want to hit on before we go? Good.
No?
Just
Yeah.
have a great time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Everyone, please enjoy your holiday season, and we hope to be seeing you at some great conventions in 2025. Otherwise, this is Matt, Gail, and Jay, and thank you guys so much for being here,
Thank you.
part of this with us. Thank you all so much.
Bye.
Bye, bye, everyone.